Hi, I'm Steve Parker. Welcome to Henry Talk. Henry Talk is all about getting to know our candidate, Henry Vassell. Henry is with Unite Rocky Hill. Henry, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Now, what is it, Henry? Why did you, what's the purpose of doing a show? And maybe you could tell us a little bit about what Unite Rocky Hill is all about.
Unite Rocky Hill is a coalition made up of candidates from all political parties, Democratic, Republican, and the unaffiliated parties. We just got a little tired of all the battling between national political parties and just battling with each other because of ideals of their party and not necessarily talking about or for the residents of each particular town or city.
Now, I understand you you were our mayor for back a few years ago, and now you've decided to get it back together again. Where do you see the next 4 years going in Rocky Hill? What are your goals as our mayor?
Well, we'll start with the next 2 years as mayor.
Okay. I was trying to get him to go for two terms. Okay, next 2 years as mayor. What do you want to accomplish?
The next 2 years, we actually have a lot of work on our plate. There's financial troubles in the state. We actually have a lot of serious fiscal problems in this state, and what's going to be handed down to the towns, it really needs to be handed by, serious people because of the serious problems. So we got to get our house in order, which I did have it in order in my prior administration, as far as our debt ratio and paying our bills and making sure we have enough contingency on hand for any future issues that might come up.
But why, what is it about Rocky Hill? How long have you been here in town, and what was the big attraction to come into Rocky Hill in the first place?
I've lived in Rocky Hill for about 25 years. I've been a Connecticut resident my whole life. It's a great town. It really, really is. It's a hometown, a bed community, a lot of single-family homes. It's just a great place to work, live, and raise a family.
And there's still a lot of room for growth in Rocky Hill as far as business goes. When you look at it from that standpoint, can you see it growing along and along? I know a lot of towns are concerned about bringing business in. What do you think as mayor? Do you think that you'll have that opportunity to grow it a little more?
Yeah, so we need to grow business in Rocky Hill, and that's going to help with our tax base too, because you want to try to shift, the burden away from the residents as much as possible, and businesses will happily pay their taxes as long as they're profitable. I mean, everybody goes in business to make a profit. It's no big secret. So if we can keep a business profitable, the biggest deterrent right now is we've had a sharp increase in taxes in the past 2 years of approaching 10%. And so a lot of businesses can't fix their costs and know what they're going to be earning at the end of the day when you have sharp increases like that. Fortunately, I was a mayor who provided a budget with a zero tax increase, and businesses as well as residents found that to be financially pleasing.
You got family in this area?
I do.
Yeah. Have you got kids or?
I do not.
Oh, you do not. What about did you grow up in Rocky Hill, or was it originally? Did you grow up down the street?
So I grew up right next town over in Wethersfield. Went to all the Wethersfield schools. Moved to Rocky Hill in 1992. Been here ever since. It's been great. I love the town.
I tell you something. The thing that I see these days is trying to in my town in Newington, we're always looking at that situation where some of the bigger companies have moved out. And now we're counting a lot on the smaller independent companies. And I think it'd be interesting to see what happens with Rocky Hill. I think it's really, it's admirable that you're going for it. But to go in your own party, doesn't that make you a little skittish about that?
The response from the public has been overwhelming. People just think it's the best thing. They're tired of the political parties fighting with each other. They want people who are going to work for them, not the ideals of the Democrats, not the ideals of the Republicans, but the ideals of the taxpayers and residents.
Well, and your background is construction, right?
Correct.
And you feel fairly comfortable that the construction will continue to grow. Will that be will you see more more neighborhoods coming around, or more business opportunity as far as your business goes from a construction standpoint?
So, construction in Rocky Hill, that's something we need to be careful of, because in Rocky Hill, we don't have a lot of open space left.
Yeah.
And if we have very few plots of land or very few open space areas, then why don't we be a little more picky on the new businesses coming to town? We do, however, have a lot of open space for lease. A lot of businesses have left town, and that's something we need to concentrate on, is renting out the space that is for lease.
Maybe we can talk about that on the next edition of Henry Talk. For Henry Talk, I'm Steve Parker. He's Henry Vassell, and he might be your next mayor. Hopefully you remember to vote in November. See you next time on Henry Talk.
My name is Henry Vassell. I'm running for mayor of Rocky Hill, and I approved this message.